Right, everyone, how are we doing? Preview, and I think it's a very important preview because on Sunday is a match which, I think many times, and I'm going to start off by saying this, many times, I think matches need to be won because of the table, because of the league, because of our objectives. And however, I think that Sunday's match is one of those matches where this fact of winning for the objectives is obviously important, because we still need to try and get in a Europa League despite the fact that we're not playing well. But I have a feeling on Sunday it's one of those matches which I think a win would help, not just for the league, but more for the momentum and for the psychological factors more than anything. I think on Sunday we have a match which we can't afford to lose. And if we were to lose on Sunday, I think that something is going on. Something behind the scenes that the fans are not aware of is going on. Now, I don't want to be negative here, but Sunday is a match where, once again, we are not allowed to underestimate them. They are a team which yesterday played in the Coppa Italia against Juventus, did get thrown out, don't get me wrong, but just lost 2-1 at the Allianz Stadium against Juventus with a fresh, brand new striker. And frankly speaking, the goal that made them, out of the Coppa Italia was a shitty goal, a very lucky goal from Vlahovic. And basically, they kept a 1-1 draw against Juventus for 87 minutes. They are a team which I think play very, very fast football. And they are one of the few teams in Italy, as well as Atalanta, which play fast football. Now, when it comes to us, we have massive news coming from their side, because two of their most important players, Scamacca and Raspadori, are out because of red cards, which is absolutely phenomenal. And I cannot stress how much these two absences can mean a lot. Yesterday in the match against Juventus, Sassuolo did play with both of these two players. I think these two players are the spirit of this team, as well as Berardi, which is the guy on the thumbnail. Berardi, obviously, people who follow the Euros this summer, he was the guy who started off really well with Italy, grabbed that own goal against Turkey. And I think he's someone who is a very good left foot. And the defense needs to be extremely careful in marking that, because he's extremely precise with his left foot. But overall, they have two absences which, I think mean a lot for us, because Raspadori is top notch, and I think Scamacca is one of those players, one of the few players that Sassuolo has. He's possibly the only big player they have, which basically means that, frankly speaking, the fights, that was a fly, the fights in the defensive section could be easier for example, Smalling and Mancini, who are both very physical. They don't have very tall players. Scamacca is the only very big physical player, and he's absent on Sunday because of a red card. So I think we need to exploit these two factors. Basically, they're lacking attackers. The only attacker they have, which I think is a big threat for us, as I said before, is Berardi. Now, I think despite these two absences, we have a match ahead of us which it will be very hard to control, for the simple reason being that our momentum is absolutely ridiculous. What the players are thinking right now in this exact moment, and leading on to Sunday's match is very bad. They are living a very tough moment. And I'm going to throw this out there. It might be a big statement. I think this is the toughest moment we have lived over the course of this season. And trust me, we've lived a lot of bad moments. After that 6-1 defeat against Bodo Glimt, I think things were still going that way, in a good way, in a positive way. I think these series of defeats, this basically getting thrown out of the Coppa Italia, and also this thing which someone is asking in the chat, Mescobar, about Mourinho's rant in the locker room. I'll talk about that, because I think that will have that can have two different effects to the players. Because I think, to be honest with you, I think one of the few reasons why we bought Mourinho is exactly this. We would never ever have had paid for Fonseca to do this. Fonseca was a boiled fish. He never ever had these speeches to the players. And I think a big factor of this was the mentality which Mourinho brings. So yes, people might say Mourinho was too aggressive, but that's just the way it is. And we said it in the match reaction. We cannot. Yes, Inter Milan are a better team. Yes, Inter Milan are the favourites over us. Does that mean that we close ourselves down, not attack for 20 minutes, have panic attacks for 20 to half an hour, and give them the ball every time? No. And I think Mourinho's rant, yes, might have been too excessive, might have been too aggressive, but I think it's the reality is that the players have no balls. The reality is exactly that in this team. So I think that this rant can have two effects. The first effect can be, I think a lot of this rant is based on Pellegrini, and because he's the captain, he needs to give that sort of balance to the teammates. I think Mourinho's reaction to Mourinho's rant in the changing room could have had two effects. A positive effect and a negative effect. The positive effect is that the players don't want to live that moment anymore. Because imagine being locked up in a locker room with Mourinho shouting at you. The players are scared now, and I hope that speech made their attitude and their mentality way different. And this is definitely something to look at on throughout Sunday's match. The negative thing is, which I think it's the only negative thing, because these players are not used to it. These players are not used to such a reaction from a manager. As I said before, for the last 2 seasons, we had a boiled fish sitting on the bench, which, don't get me wrong, might have had his great tactics, but when it comes to the mentality, you cannot say absolutely anything to Fonseca, but that he was a fucking boiled fish. So, these players are not used to being coached by managers who shout at them. They've had Fonseca for the last 2 years, and frankly speaking, 3/4 of our entire starting 11 players came 2 years ago. So, I think it's a new experience having Mourinho sitting on the bench. So they might not be too used to it and might get it on personal levels and might just say, what is this guy talking about? What is this guy talking about? I'm gonna stop playing. It's too aggressive. I'll stop playing. So, the fact that these players are not used to such reaction might mean that they could have taken this rant on a personal level. So basically, Sunday's match, in my opinion, has a good, this is definitely something to look at. The reaction to this rant from Mourinho, which I truly hope will be positive. Predicted 11. I think Ibanez is out for 5 weeks, which is bad. Ibanez is out for 5 weeks, which basically means that he either scraped the return in the Conference League or he'll miss the first match in the Conference League as well. Ibanez is out for 5 weeks. In my opinion, without Ibanez, we will get back playing with 4 defenders at the back. And I have seen many journalists on Sky Sports agreeing with this as well. They think that without Ibanez, Mourinho will get back with 4 defenders at the back. And my real question is, why don't we try starting with a 4-2-3-1 on Sunday back again? Because Mourinho decided to change the 4-2-3-1 over the course of November, because when we faced the first big match of the season, we lost and Mourinho changed it. But before that match, we were basically winning every match at the start of the season, and everyone remembers what happened in the first round when we faced Sassuolo, that El Shaarawy, that Mourinho sprint. Why don't we try playing with a 4-2-3-1 again? And I think I'm going to go with a 4-2-3-1. I think 4 defenders will be Karsdorp, Mancini, Smalling, and Maitland-Niles. Obviously, Rui Patricio in goal. 2 defensive midfielders would be Oliveira and I'd say Veretout, because Cristante, I think just is not having it. And then 3 active midfielders, which would be Zaniolo, Mkhitaryan, and I'm going to say it out there, I think... Oh, Pellegrini's back. It will either be Zaniolo, Pellegrini, Mkhitaryan, or if Mourinho decides that Pellegrini's still not 100% fit, I think it will be Zaniolo, Mkhitaryan, and El Shaarawy. And TAMMY up front, which is not 100% fit, but he's back for Sunday's match. The only negative of getting back to 4-2-3-1 is the fact that lately, with TAMMY having assistance next to Zaniolo, we have played very well and we've scored more. So the only negative thing getting back to 4-2-3-1 would be playing and getting back to TAMMY playing alone, which, can be good, but it can also be bad, especially if he's not 100% fit. Basically, having TAMMY alone can be quite a bad thing, because if he's not 100% fit, then if he's left alone, that he will have no impact whatsoever to the match. So yeah, I think why? I mean, let's try. This is obviously not a match to waste points on, but let's try, because lately, without a 4-2-3-1 against more clubs, we've been not losing too many points. I think let's try. So that is definitely something to talk about. Sassuolo. When it comes to Sassuolo, they're a very weird team, and I'm gonna say it out loud. They are a very weird team, because they lose against, Genoa. They can easily lose to those teams, and then suddenly they win at San Siro against AC Milan. They score 5 goals past Empoli. They're a very weird team. The fact that they don't have Scamacca and Berardi is obviously a massive bonus for us, because I think at least a good percentage of all the goals Sassuolo scored came from these 2 players. Biggest threat is definitely Berardi and Hamad Traore. However, Hamad Traore yesterday scored a beauty of a goal against Juventus, and he then got subbed off, and he did not like this decision from the manager of subbing him off, which... He basically had a very bad reaction with the manager. So I'm not sure if the manager will let him play again, because he had a bad reaction when he came off yesterday against Juventus in the Coppa Italia. But I think if he plays, he's definitely one of the biggest threats. Overall, without Scamacca and Raspadori, I do think that Berardi is the biggest threat. Their defense is shit. We have to exploit their defense. Their defense is appalling. Absolutely appalling. And once again, it's a match which it's important for this. It's important for this. For once, I would say, and I think what Mourinho will kind of say coming towards this match, obviously not every time, but especially this match, I think what Mourinho will say to the players is, look at me, forget about the league, forget about the table, forget about who we need to chase, forget about the teams who are chasing us. Forget about all the objectives we have and we established at the start of the season. Today, I want us to win for this. For our brain, for psychological factors, and for our momentum. And I think I'm not someone who says it, I'm definitely someone who, loves setting objectives, winning matches, and thinking about the future objectives. But this is very much a match where if we win, the most important thing, why we need to win, is about, solving all the mess we have in our brains after these terrible performances. So I think, will we get the reaction? I'm not sure. Will we get the reaction? I hope so. And I think that after such a rant from Mourinho, I very, very hope so that the players will understand that the season is not over. The fans might think that, yes, in a way it is over. The Coppa Italia, we're out. But as I already said, if we were to get 5th in this area, meaning Europa League next season, and if we were to hypothetically win the Conference League, this season would be more than a success. So the season is not over. These bad results that we've got does not mean that the season is over. Obviously, it does mean that our momentum coming towards future matches will be poor because, momentum is a very big part of football, But at the same time, these players need to understand that at the end of the day, it's impossible to win every single match. And they don't need to get demoralized if they get thrown out of the Coppa Italia by Inter Milan. Because everyone knew it. They are a better team. They've spent money. They've spent money on players. Basically, Inter Milan, apart from last season when they won the Scudetto, when was the last time they won the Scudetto? It was a Juventus siege, Inter Milan took their time, constructed a new team, and now we're the best team in Italy. We cannot expect, with a new manager, brand new manager, 5 months in, with players which some players are not good at all, that we get in San Siro and win and throw Inter out of the Coppa Italia. Time. And I just hope that in the defeat against Inter Milan didn't demoralize every single player. Because if that's the case, then on Sunday, it's a very, very hard match to win. Lads and lasses, I will catch you tomorrow for Mourinho's press conference reaction. If you're new here, please subscribe. I know you're watching this. And you are not yet subscribed. If you haven't already, smash the subscribe button. We're 10 subscribers away from 2,000 subscribers. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Smash the like button as soon as it becomes a video and comment in the comments your predicted 11 and how you will approach this, how Roma will approach this match. Follow me on Instagram at @LowerScoreTheSimon Show and subscribe to my second YouTube channel. Link is in description below. Oh, what did I do? Right, I'm gonna read some comments and then I will end the stream. I think we should focus on Conference League win. If we win that, we will qualify Europa League and we'll get a trophy too. I agree. I think Conference League is something definitely to focus on this season. But so many of our players are too comfortable sitting in this position. They get paid and not have to work hard. Those players need to be moved. We need to be competing in elite level, not 6th or 7th, since Rohit. I absolutely love what Jose said. Word for word was spot on. When someone who has won as much as Jose, chances are you take and learn from it. Not cry about it. He didn't exclude anyone. Jose should go back to 4-2-3-1. El Shaarawy shooting lately has been abysmal. Already hope he's been... Yeah, I mean, it's something to say about El Shaarawy is that he was injured for quite a long while, so that is definitely something his form got destroyed by his injury in a way. So he needs time to get back fit. But I agree, El Shaarawy's shooting can be better, and we all know what happened in the first round when we faced Sassuolo. That El Shaarawy masterclass. It's simple, guys. Roma needs better players. We can still make top 4. We can have a good run of matches. 100%. We need defenders, says Ken Atali. Right, lads. I will catch you tomorrow with Mourinho's match press conference reaction and on Sunday.